for a walk in the woods today. Try and get some practice to wake these lazy legs up. Get to come almost, excuse me, every day. And it's, I think it's a bit ironic that the music I'm listening to now is I'm having the time of my life. It's kind of a good thing. And as you get older, the time of your life changes. Tend to be a little bit slower than it used to be. But it happens to all of us. We're in the local parks this morning, and walk's about 3 hours long. Despite the park being smallish, historic, plenty to see around here. One of the things I'm interested in showing you is the kind of things that come to me when I'm out in these woods, kind of based on spiritual things, if you believe in that sort of thing. It's the kind of training ground for the mind, and this is for me. I'll just take this out for a minute, the music's quite loud. For me, as I'm in training ground, for me, it's a matter of looking back in time. You start with the here and now, the present, and you concentrate on self-awareness, and then you have to delve a little bit deeper, or I have to. Others, spiritual mediums, clairvoyance, healers, that kind of thing, will have their own way of doing things. But as for me, I tend to go back in time segments in order to try to tap into spiritual things or spirits that have gone before us, if you believe in that kind of thing. I've had it since I was 6 years old, and I've done quite a lot in my time, and I've loved what I do. There are times when it comes thick and fast, and there are times when it's not so much. It goes quiet. But the training ground begins here now. Maybe some of the tips I can show you will help you to tap into historic things, and connect you to spirit. Okay. To continue, I got cut off a minute or two ago. For some strange reason, I'm busy talking to myself, and the camera wasn't switched on. I must have knocked it. Yeah, the thing I was saying is coming to terms with yourself and with woods and the historical aspect. Going to source, tapping into source, it's called. And I do this by simply becoming appreciative with the woods and seeing the true beauty of everything, having no grievance to anything, no animosity, no tetchy feelings, just a feeling of oneness with everything. And the woods can do that to you, kind of lifts your spirit, and you can only really tap into the source, the light, into the spirit realm, if you filter out all the things that are of no use to you, family values, and work issues, things like that, and get back to nature. And for example, I tend to look at shadows and lights and patterns that are created. It's been with me for, oh, goodness knows, I'm 70 now, so I would say maybe 65 years. Try to study the roots and use them, because you have to root yourself to source, or to earth in yourself, to ground. I tend to do what a lot of mediums do. You have to first ground yourself and meditate, and then start using, for myself, using the roots that I focus on. And you take your meditation as deep as you can. And occasionally, if you're a clairvoyant medium and you fine-tune yourself while you're in these woods, you can actually pick up aspects either within your mind, or your eyes can physically see, or in some cases people have given me photographs of these woods where they've actually got spirits. In one case, for example, of an old lady, and you can see part of a house that doesn't actually exist in the woods, and it came on her photograph. And I've had a few photographs, or a few people have given me photographs of strange things that are unexplainable, but they don't exist in our time. But they still exist or coexist. It's a shared existence of historic residue, like in some cases a recording of history. It's not actually physically there, sharing our existence, reliving their existence in our time frame, or it may be just a simple recording of history. That's the difference a clairvoyant medium will have, to be able to fine-tune and help try to take it a little bit further. It's all wonderful stuff. As I said, focusing is important, meditation is important. To be able to look at anything in a different aspect and find beauty within it. This is just a simple thing. Yeah, nature is important. Simple walk in the woods. And the second thing is we need a direction. Where do we want to go? How do we want to do it? Who do we want to be? Do we want to be a healer? A stage medium? Do we want to be a one-to-one reader? And one of the main things that's very important is that whenever a troubled spirit is stuck on earth, they're called grounded. Oh, we have to, I'm sorry, I'm just a bit distracted by some big bird at the moment. Yeah, we can become grounded as spirits because we've gone through troubled times and we don't go back to the light or the source or to heaven. And so we have to find individuals who do spiritual rescue. That is a brilliant aspect to follow. Not only helping human beings, but helping spirits that are stranded. All great stuff. But as I was saying, the main thing that we need to follow is grounding, and then we need a direction, choosing what you want to do, and we need a sense of purpose, and we also need our health. You don't tap into the source, to the light, to heaven, or to spirit when you are ill, or if you drink a lot, or if you are an aggressive person, kind of violent, drug aspects obviously, you become weak spiritually and you're opening the door to negative. We have to dismiss them, we have to sweep them out because we do not want them. So, getting rid of what's unnecessary. Meditation. Yes, we talked about that. And we talked about the aspect of taking a walk in the woods. It's just like taking a walk in your mind when you're meditating. And remember the bridge, and you remember the understanding of going down a path and down some steps and counting yourself down. In my case, I cross the bridge in my mind's eye. There are so many ways of meditation, but you leave that, you study that for yourself. Remember, so far we've got grounding yourself, meditating, we need a path, a direction, we need a choice of what we are aiming for. We also need quite a strong imagination. Remember the children, and it becomes a playground of fun when you're learning about becoming a spiritual medium. You also have to be empathic. If you remember, I showed you a tree earlier on. You have to have an understanding of people's suffering. You also have to keep away from problems that do not concern you. You also have to take care of your health. So many things to understand. Right, one of the things is just going off at a tangent here. What you can see on the trees is moss, and on a few other trees all over Britain, moss has a meaning. Moss grows on one side of the tree, and you'll find that if you look around the other side, there is no moss. Here you've got moss on one side of the tree, and as you come round to this side, there isn't any. Well, that's the tree telling you that moss grows on the north side of trees, and the south side is dry. If you look around at many trees, you'll find this moss growing, and you can say, okay, the moss side is the north side, the dry side is the south side, and you can, from that you can discern which is east and west, and you can use it for navigation. Also, the trees tend to tell you where north and south is, because on certain species the branches lean southwards, not all, only on some of them, and you take a good look around you, and it tells you where south is, and then you can continue your navigation without a compass. And there are other tricks of the trade, if that's what you want to call them, that the trees can help you with, and I love it. You just have to do what you do and enjoy it. I've only been in the woods about 5 minutes, and it kind of lifts your energy. That is another aspect of being a medium. You've got to raise the energy around you. That's where you get an audience, where they're all on the same wavelength, they're all surrounding you, they're all thinking about wanting to connect to someone, a loved one, and they're all focusing on you, and that energy changes. There is an understanding that if you don't get something, you're being put into a rest period from the spirit realm, because too much is not good for your soul, or constitution, if that's the right word. But once again, I tend to come out, and I like a little bit at a time, and I used to want it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I never used to switch off, and that was not good. It created negativity, and then you start tapping into unwanted spirits, negatives, and you become like a magnet. You attract what you should not have around you. So little and often is good to have. So we now know we have to offload all the crap that we carry throughout our lives. We follow our sense of purpose, and again I'm reiterating, we meditate We shut down from what is unnecessary. One of the other main aspects is we have to become a listener, and we have to look for avenues where we can use the skills we are learning, because we will be given them, because we will become a testing ground. By Spirit, we will be given the things that we require at the times when we need them. What I'm being told by Spirit right now, I have to talk about a path of righteousness. That's a good aspect. I'm being told to say that it is the be-all and end-all. As you see what is happening now, that the more I talk about it, the more I walk in these woods, the more I relax, the more I am grounding myself, the better I feel, the easier it is, well, to understand the spiritual form and spiritual integrity, and the easier it is to tap into the source, to the light, call them what you will. But the other thing I was just listening to, I'm sorry, one of the other things is there is an importance to keep going. They're mentioning to me to keep going. I don't know about keep going walking or keep going in spirit form or keep going trial and error. I have to talk about trial and error. You see, the more you appreciate, remember I mentioned a while back about being appreciative, the better you feel. You were trial and error, you have to try something. You have to make mistakes. Oh, you have to, oh gosh, it's a long way.
If you want to do that.
Yeah, if you want to do that. Yeah, they were talking about being dismissive of certain things and take on what is valued when you're doing your practicing. And I have to talk about don't be gun-headed. If I'm hearing it correct, yes, I'm hearing it correctly. Don't blast away. They're showing me a cannon. Don't blast away at things. They're showing me a canoe floating on water. So you have to take your work steadily, smoothly. Listen to reason. I'm being fed information here, and I'm appreciative of what they're telling me. That is another thing I mentioned. You have to be appreciative of everything. It's kind of having a love with no barriers. If there's someone in front of you who's suffering from anxieties and troubles and strife, you mustn't tell yourself that he's of no use to you and then leave. You just have to take on board what that person is all about. The other thing I think I'm being shown is like, don't burn the candle at both ends. That I would take to mean like, don't wear yourself out, don't try diving into the deep end and doing too much. You've simply got to see reason. I've been told to give the word see reason, take it as it comes. Understanding you're being given the word vocation. Help, I'm being fed information. I think it's on about where when help is needed, it will be sorted by Spirit. Resolved is the word. and given to you. Do take care of your health. Diet. Yeah, diet. Tell me about it. Diet is all important. What I'm saying, I'm not saying. Keep this, have a regime. I'm being given the word regime. You don't take things for granted. Don't be expective. That I was a sinner, where people come to you and demand answers from Spirit on their behalf. Well, you can't do that. If it's for you, it'll come. If it's not for you, it won't. I'm just trying to tread carefully on the ground here. It's a bit unsteady. Yeah. You have to look for loopholes. I take it like if you're going through life and you're wanting something spiritual, you're wanting messages, I'm being given to say that there's a time and a place where this kind of loophole or door or opening will actually be given to you if it is necessary, if it is deemed positive on your behalf or on yours or others' behalf. So you see, you've got many things to go on to look at, and I'm being shown now, I do believe I'm being told to say that it's a book that's never ending. As if the title is not really intended. You can't nail the title down because I'm being given to say, because there are so many variations on the theme of spiritual reasoning. I'm being careful here, please bear with me. The title can be just based, the title of your life's book, relating to the spiritual chasings you do, or the road that you follow. And as I was saying, the title is really not important, relating to the spiritual necessity or the spiritual choice you have chosen, because there are so many variations on the theme. It is infinite, but if you wish to become stage medium and you wish to follow that pursuit throughout your whole life, then I suppose that's what you will do. But you can't become a stage medium without following pursuits that are based on other reasoning, spiritual reasoning. If this is all above your head, it's like a swimming lesson. The pool is deep, the pool is narrow, the pool is wide, the pool is small, the pool is infinite, and you are simply a swimmer in the pool of spiritual source. But as for now, I'll leave it at that and leave you with God's blessings.